Well, it is Sunday morning. Yes, I know I'm not in church, and worst of all, it's Mother's Day. But Jenny and I will celebrate that later. We are on our last field of corn, about 125 acres, and half of it's corn after corn, the other half is corn after beans. Which means, as you can see in the background, I have bags of corn to finish up. I've got probably 90 acres of corn left in the planter. So I'm going to have to handle a few bags this afternoon. So we've had pretty good luck with this planter. The more I run it, the more I really like it. Get some fertilizer filled up here and see if we can't get started on this. I got the borders all ran, working on our corn after corn. Normally we would have just split the rows and planted in between the old corn stalk rows, but we were running different AB lines, and I was going to be crossing the rows, and so just decided it was going to be a lot easier just to run our vertical till on it, kind of knock the root balls out, and just rerun it. Had pretty good luck with the planter so far. Obviously, your few problems just getting things, all the bugs worked out of the system. Finally got my auto steer figured out. Well, not the auto steer, but the auto turn, which is pretty cool. I kind of, once certain fields it doesn't work so well, but you get your bigger fields and it works really nice. It controls everything. It raises, turns, drops it, speeds back up. Very cool. But anyway, we ended up running the vertical till on these stalks just to kind of knock the root balls out of the way, and just something I don't have to deal with, because I would have literally been crossing corn rows. We'll see how it turns out. It should be good.
All right, I have finally made it out to the bean planter. Dad's been running for about half a day already, as I'm sure you guys know. But I went to church this morning, and it is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And guys, well, it's a little late, but if you forgot, I was going to remind you, but if you're watching this, then it's well after Mother's Day. And I forgot I need the key. But luckily, Dad and I were blessed with wives that are extremely understanding when it comes to farming. And they get that most of the time during Mother's Day, we are still running hard. So that doesn't get us out of celebrating Mother's Day. It just lets us celebrate at a slightly later date. Oop! Gotta put it in park. Well, other than getting everything started, there's not a whole lot I gotta do. Let me load my seed plates. Alright, that way my seed is already ready to go. I've got my auto path all set up. My vacuum pressures look good. got the right field, right hybrid. I checked the planter over last night, so I think everything's good on it. I fueled last night, I filled last night, so I could just hop in and go. Turn my auto track on, engage it, do my quick start so that my seating knows I'm going to take off from a dead stop, and go. Hello, sir. I don't know who that was, honestly. Fellow farmer working on Mother's Day. I hope you told your mother Happy Mother's Day. She's rolling dust. But what's crazy is we farm that field just south of the road as well. This one has full tile, that one has very little, and that one is still way too wet to run the stalks, let alone plant. So it's crazy this year. It seems like there's been a drastic difference in the way fields are drying out based on the tile and amount of residue that's on top. Because bean fields around here that we have been able to be planted several days ago. This field, we were just comfortable running stalks on it yesterday, and that field still is not ready. The variability this year on how things are drying out and wet holes seems very drastic.
Well, I'm back to fill up fertilizer again. Need to check seed, getting low. Not where I ought to be. Hopefully they're even. Definitely more in this one, which is interesting.
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but we get over on this east part of this field, and we just tiled this a couple years ago. So right there was a line. Oh, I'm hitting one right. I'm running. Right there's a line. Here's a line. But you can still feel every single tile line because they were ran east and west, running north and south. So with this going to beans this year, I think this is going to be one of the fields that's going to need chiseled this fall. As much as we don't like disturbing the soil that much, these tile lines, they're going to need leveled again. But one more time, we've worked it a couple times after we tiled it. We've never truly chiseled the field. So I think one good chisel in the fall, work it down next spring, and hopefully these lines will be settled, because at that point I think it'll be year number 3 since we've done it. So hopefully once we get through this next round of working it, they should be good and we won't have to work it anymore. We can get it back on 100% no-till. Build that structure back up. I'm almost done. This field has gone very smoothly. I do still have that little nook to plant. While I am back here planting this little nook, I'm gonna go over here, check and see if the toilet's open. Alright, it's free.
Well, I'm currently on my last round of corn for 2025, barring any replant, which at this point in time doesn't look probable. The question's going to be is, do I have enough corn in my seed box? I'm really hoping I don't have to open that one last bag that you end up having 2 bags left over. Well, there it is, the last pass. About 14 or 15 rows. And I think I just ran out. Honestly, I've got 6 rows that aren't being used. A lot of pain to clean these out. Man, that would be enough corn. I wasted a half hour trying to save a bag of corn, maybe 45 minutes. It just stupid. I don't know. But at $275 a bag, you'd try to save it. But called for 9.5 bags. 9 bags just isn't enough. But here we are. Last pass. And that's it. Always kind of bittersweet.
Holy cow, that glare looks terrible. Is that better? Either way, I'll show you on this one. And that nook is planted. Do me a little circle-y-do here. And let's work out the rest of the field. Well, there's 73 acres in the ground so far. And if I saw Op Center correctly, I believe Dad has finished corn, which that is super exciting. But let me run through this real quick, see if I see anything. I haven't done a good once over on this field. So when I'm looking over the planter, basically making sure first of all, making sure everything's still here, but making sure my closing wheels are still properly tensioned, and just overall that everything is still looking the way it should. Make sure none of these have broke and my depth gauge is funky on a row. And everything looks good. So let's get it folded. Let's head to the next field. This field will be really nice. It's got a lot of waterways. Speaking of which, let me get across this one real quick. There, that's the field I'm in right now. Let's switch it to my coverage map, and that's what I've done. So I'm working my second pass around the field. Got a lot of waterway junk down in here that I gotta mess with. But the nice thing is, I will get that done well before dark, and the rest of the field is about 100 acres. So, should have some good running into the evening here after dark. Won't have to worry about much other than back and forth. 55 acres down. And I was hoping that I would be out of seed and have it filled up again before I lost my daylight. But if I've calculated correctly, I should have another 12 acres of seed. And if that's the case, it's going to be long dark by the time I get that done. Making good progress. Everything's going smoothly. It's now that we have less sun glare on the iPad, show you guys the full outline of the field. That's where I'm at, and that's how much I got to do. So I'm literally maybe halfway done. And as soon as I shut the camera off, my tank low warning came up, and I actually had a few rows quit planting on me. I've got 288 acres that I've done on this hybrid. I was thinking I had 298 acres. I recalculated it real quick. I only needed 292. So we're gonna check how level my tanks were, and I just might get it loaded before it gets too dark. I would say I loaded those pretty even. So it's time to load. Okay, so I have 3 mini bulks of my new hybrid in the front of this tender. And that is equal to 2160 pounds. So 2, 4, 6, 63, 64, 80, 6,480 pounds. So that would be 3,200 pounds a side. And then seed buggy would be empty for me to take home and reload in the morning. We're gonna try and fit it all. That's a lot of seed. I don't know if I can get all of that in one fill. Well, that's a definite no-go. Nowhere near my 3,200. So no need to try to fit any more in. I just got to make sure I can get 2,800 in this pound, but it's empty, and they should hold the same. Well, it may not have been everything I wanted to get them, but you can't say I didn't try. That one never goes on quite right. So I put right at 5,680 pounds in, and for this hybrid we are 2,711 seeds per pound. So it's a big seed. So, give you guys a little perspective, I just put 15.4 million seeds in there. Divide by my prescription rate of 160,000 seeds per acre, I should be able to do 96 acres based on that calculation. Let me reset my counter B because that's my hybrid. So now I've got a counter that's starting at 0. That gives me a number to watch, and I know when I'm getting close to getting empty. But now that I know I obviously have enough to finish this field, I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drive to this end and start working my way north, so that when I'm done, I will be finished right here by the truck, and I won't have to drive a quarter mile over planted beans. Well, things have been running so smoothly. It's about almost 11 o'clock at night. I've literally got 3 rounds left, less than 10 acres. And I think my air compressor just went kaput. Or an O-ring did or something. Let's see what we can see. I'm gonna cross my fingers before I even look. Before I even look, I'm gonna cross my fingers that it's just a loose fitting. I have wrenches, I can tighten it. It's not gonna be an O-ring. Woo! It's hot. I have no idea which one it is. I'm gonna have to kick my hydraulics on and waste a little more fluid. Figure out which one it is coming from. Now be quick! Gotta be quick! Gotta be quick! I think it's this one. And I didn't realize it was splattering me. That's just wonderful. I'll be honest, I contemplated running this in order to get finished, but I mean, tractor's off and it's still pouring out like that. I mean, I would probably drain my hydraulics in that 3-round span, and it's just not worth that. So what I am going to do real quick before I call it quits is I'm going to take this solenoid out, make sure it is just the O-ring, and have something to take back to the shop with me. Make sure we can bring the right O-ring out in the morning. Okay, I don't think it's this one, but I've got to get it out of the way in order to get the other one. So that O-ring all looks good. Okay, well, right off the bat, that O-ring looks good too. I guess it could be this too. It didn't look like it was, but it could be. I may take this one off and check it as well. Ah, see how loose that is? That's what's typical of a blown O-ring. The fitting goes loose on you. Well, see that? It's a chunk of O-ring. This is the culprit. There's not much left of that O-ring. Right there. That's the one I need. That is not at all how I was hoping to end the day today. But at least I know what it's going to take to fix it. And it only cost me a couple rounds and some oil-soaked pants. That's probably the worst part of it. And I actually have a fact related to Mother's Day for you guys. An estimated 122 million phone calls are made on Mother's Day, which makes it the busiest day of the year for phone calls. I mean, a lot of kids move away from their mama, so the only way to tell them Happy Mother's Day is through a phone call. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was productive for corn, and it was productive for me, just not the way I wanted to end it. But hey, that happens. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.